Yes, welcome back. We're adding some spice to proceedings this morning with a cheeky bit of chicken and some even cheekier sriracha hot sauce.
Chef Eva Powell from Asia Kitchen is burning her tongues off this morning. Right, how hot is this going to be for us? Not temperature-wise, spice-wise.
Well, there are so many different types of sriracha sauce. So there's a really hot one, but I'm kind of mixing it with a bit of honey and some ketchup to mellow it down.
Okay.
So you can add more if you want more spice or less.
Okay.
So
you're being kind to us then. She knows we've got another an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are we doing first?
I have some kind of shredded raw chicken here. So usually I'm going to marinate it first. So it's very simple. You only have a few ingredients. You need some soy. So 2 tablespoons of soy and then a little bit of sesame oil.
Does it matter if it's dark or light soy?
Light soy is much better because dark is only, it's not as salty as the light.
Okay.
So usually I just go for light if you're marinating.
Okay.
And then I have a little bit of Shaoxing Wine and then some white pepper and a little bit of cornstarch. So we use quite a lot of white pepper in Chinese cooking and some cornstarch to bind it together. So then all you need to do is mix this all together. And then you leave it in the fridge for about 30 minutes or so, and then you can kind of fry it.
What's this wine now you're talking about?
So the Shaoxing wine is just like
What's it made from?
It's just like Chinese wine, but then the salt content is quite high in it.
Ah, of course.
So it wouldn't be something that's like, like on a Friday night I'll just get a glass. So it's specifically for cooking. So it just adds a lot of flavour. Like for instance, like your stir fries.
Yeah.
If you were stir frying something, you usually add some of the Shaoxing wine to the side of the wok, so that it kind of heats up and then adds a little bit of
flavour.
Okay.
Yeah. So you marinate this, and then I have here some plain flour and cornstarch. So cornstarch...
Plain wheat flour. It's not rice flour or anything like that.
Plain flour and some cornstarch. And then you kind of mix it together, and then you can fry. So you'd be...
So we're going to pretend half an hour's gone by.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long. I mean, like, literally, you're putting it in for probably like 10 minutes to fry, So you kind of coat all the sides of it. And then, actually, one thing I forgot. You need to add in some egg white.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you add in some egg white into this.
The actual mix of chicken?
To actually mix the chicken.
That's before you you put it in the fridge?
After you put it in the fridge.
After you put it in the fridge. Gotcha now.
So then, before you fry it, you add in the egg white.
And that's going to be like the glue.
Exactly. So all the flour just sticks to it and gives it... Because you're just looking for something really crispy here.
Yeah.
So what I have here, I've fried this once, and then you leave it to kind of cool for 5 to 10 minutes. And then you fry it again. So double frying makes it extra crispy, because you're putting a sauce over it. So you really want it to hold that crispiness, or else it'll just,
Okay.
So double fry. You cook it thoroughly first, you half cook it, or the whole shebang?
So you cook this I cooked it for about 8 minutes, and then I left it here to
Let it rest, to kind of cool, and then back in again.
Back in again. So you kind of go back in again.
But it only goes back in for a couple of minutes, I assume.
Yeah, so 2 minutes.
Yeah. Just to heat it up, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have here some already cooked here, and I'm just going to leave it for the side until I make the sauce. So the sauce is really simple, and it's so versatile, because if you have, I don't know, your barbecue, or you have some chicken wings, you can make this sauce up ahead.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
So
we're going ketchup.
We are ketchup.
Home in our garden, normal ketchup.
Exactly, because it adds so much sweetness, and honey, which everybody would have. So a tablespoon of honey, and then we have another tablespoon of sriracha sauce.
So it's quite sweet with the ketchup and the honey, because I think people forget there's a lot of sugar in ketchup.
Exactly. So the thing is, so you're not kind of adding extra, well, not another tablespoon of sugar, so you mix all of this together, and then you have to have some cornstarch and some water in order to make it thick. It acts as a thickener.
So the cornstarch is the thickening agent for a lot of these, because we're adding it quite a lot between the flour and the marinade and everything else.
Yeah, and because this is a little trick that we always use in a lot of Chinese cooking to thicken up the sauce.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of cornstarch and water.
When you say
add
a
that
bit,
in.
it's like literally a teaspoon, is it?
A teaspoon. Yeah. And the trick is to use cold water, not hot water, because it doesn't work. It just thickens up too quickly. So basically, into a pot, you have a little bit of oil, and then you add in some garlic, and then you pour in the sauce and you let it boil up. and it thickens up really nicely.
So it gets nice and syrupy.
Yeah, so I have some here that's really nice. It just thickens up. All
Oh,
you
look
need
at
to do,
that.
and it just thickens up like that. So that's why I said it's very versatile. You can make up the sauce, and you can put them onto like anything you want. Like
So you boil up the oil and you add the little mix you had already.
yeah, so you add in the little bit of the
garlic.
The garlic. The trick with the garlic is not to, you don't want it to brown too much. So you still want it to keep it as, you don't want to brown too much, and then you just add in literally in a few seconds, and then you just do mix this better. Do mix this up a little bit better.
Because it's kind of cloudy now, so when you cook it up, you make it a bit more clear.
It literally turns, like you literally pour this in and you let it just to heat up for a few minutes and you do nothing to it and it becomes like this.
Okay,
gorgeous,
so is it a medium heat that it goes on? You're not gonna.
Yeah, medium heat, or kind of, because you don't want it to kind of boil up too much. But I will plate some up here. So the chicken pieces, you're just kind of putting them into the sauce and coating it together. And that's...
You boil up the sauce and then you just pop the chicken in just lightly. And you don't want it kind of too... It's just to coat the chicken, basically, as opposed to making it like a sauce that spills everywhere.
Exactly. So I'm just going to plate some up here for you. Like some
you know it will spill it everywhere. Doesn't matter how much sauce.
See, if it's just enough to coat, you see.
I've got you some...
A rice maker. Famous rice maker.
I thought, like, you have to have the lovely rice to go along with the chicken. So I'm just going to add the chicken here. So it's really simple. I just really like the way how versatile the sauce is. You know, you can make the sauce up ahead.
And do you ever add vegetables to that if you want to, or is it generally a...
No, you can absolutely add your veg.
Some chilies.
Some chilies, a bit of...
As if it wasn't hot enough.
To garnish it, and then some...
Yeah.
Some sesame seeds.
Sesame seeds. I've got one here, and I'll make another one.
That's for her ladyship.
Thank you so much.
Just a nice way to start. It's kind of like lunch for breakfast, isn't it? Although this is our lunchtime, isn't it?
Yeah.
In truth.
That is lovely. And you can see the difference in the coating of the chicken, actually. It does give it a nice crispiness, because even when it's coated with the sauce, you can feel that it's
kind of
in a batter, but not quite a batter.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So it's like, it's quite easy to do at home, where you know you don't need a real big deep fryer. You can just have a little shallow fry it. You know.
It's absolutely delicious.
Oh,
yes, there is a bit of a kick off it.
Yes. But the thing is, if you feel like adding a bit more heat, then you just add another tablespoon or two. Because initially, when I did the recipe, I added in maybe 3 tablespoons. I was like, oh my goodness, it blew my head off. So then I was like, okay, let's pare this back down.
Well, if it blew your head off, it was very hot.
I don't know if I have such a high spice tolerance, but, you know.
No, that is
absolutely lovely.
Delicious.
A
Absolutely
lovely
delicious.
sweet and chili kind of.
You can have the taste of honey as well. Really lovely.
Absolutely lovely.
Lovely.
Thank you so much, Eva, once again.
Good to see you, Eva. Full recipe details are on our website. You can find more from Eva on asiamarket.ie.
Now, after the break, we're learning all about our canine friends who are making life that little bit easier for the visually impaired. Stick with us.